My name is Roberto and I'm originally from Italy. I started tattooing when I was around 17. My parents opened the shop in the 1994, I think. So it was just hanging out since for all my childhood there. And then when I started to be more an adolescent, I started doing little jobs here and there, soldering the needles, doing little designs, little stencils, working on some Photoshop stuff that they weren't able to, and it just evolved a little bit, more and more and more since I started to really work there. It was good. My tattoo style it can be considered a sort of realism tattoo, but it's also not really, because I usually like to go a little bit outside of the pure realism zone and kind of play a little bit more with the image. You can say dark black and gray.
What's something people might not know about you as an artist?
When I do art outside of the tattoo world, I tend to be totally different to what I usually post on socials, skulls, pieces, and stuff like that. I'm more towards the new school and abstract and color stuff.
What would surprise people most about being a tattoo artist?
You might be surprised that if you're really gonna jump into it, you might be surprised that this work is gonna it's gonna take a lot of space in your in your life. So you might start for passion or play or just for fun, and when things start to get serious, you might be surprised at how much your life is gonna merge together with the tattoo work, with the job.
Finish this sentence. Tattooing saved me because
I ask myself this exact question multiple times, and honestly, I don't know wherever else I could have been if I wouldn't have started tattooing. I couldn't see myself doing different things in the previous years,
How did you first fall in love with tattooing?
For sure not at the start, because the start, it was different for me. I grew up in a tattoo shop, and I wasn't really so much into tattooing when I started working when I was 17, as I said before. The passion, the attitude to be better, to do cool stuff, it kind of grew up with the years, because at first it was just a job for me, showing up and then do your stuff, and then that was it. But then I started to look at the other artists' works, and this wanting to to do something cool, to pursue your personal path. It's a thing that it grew up with the years.
Who was the first person that really believed in your work?
The first person that really believed in my work, I think my parents, because they made me try to tattoo when I was there was a time in 9 years but the first real tattoo I made it when I was 13, I think. And that probably, yes, that's when they were oh, but he can make it, no? So yeah, they were the first person for sure.
What was your lowest point in this journey, and how did you bounce back?
My lowest point, it was maybe during COVID. I was starting to study for another job. I took couple years just staying by myself and not working that much, just surviving. Just gave it the time for they gave it the time for fix itself.
How do you stay inspired when you're drained or burnt out?
I just wait. I try to don't push too much because I know that we go through cycles. If you got that moment, you just try to stay to stay on the surface, to don't go too deep down, to don't get too emotional on it, and you just wait.
What kind of tattoos do you love doing the most?
The most that I post on socials, skulls, is one of my favorite pieces to do. Animated things too. They just come out cool on the skin. I think I just enjoy doing it. Dark themed stuff too. I like the dark imagery.
What makes a client experience unforgettable for you?
I think, like in my mind, like the client have like a great and forgettable experience when like every single piece is aligned. You know, like when you, for example, you show up at the tattoo shop, you book a session with an artist for a certain reason. Maybe like you have something that you wanna represent on your skin, and maybe there is something more than just art. You know, so for example, so you have that idea and you give it to the artist, and the artist like put it on your skin, and you're like so happy about it. So it's when everything is aligned, so you have a good time with the artist, and then the piece come out great based on what your intention was about. So when every single piece like work together in a good way, that's when the like client experience like, oh wow, yes, I'm not gonna forget that.
How do you make people feel safe and comfortable in the chair?
I try to understand them. While they're here to me, I ask questions. I just try to make the other person feel like, feel comfortable.
If someone books with you, what should they expect?
Being comfortable. No, they could expect to pull out of their minds what they want, and try really to understand what they want, like read it with my vision. So yes, that's what they could expect, like a collaboration between their ideas and my mind.
What's the weirdest request you've gotten?
The weirdest request I got, I talked about it like few days ago actually, and I had this client. I ended up tattooing on him the wife, and he wanted the wife like being eaten by some demons. Yeah, that was probably the strangest one I ever had.
If you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
Buy Bitcoin. No, probably, okay. Go back to serious question. Maybe like to think about working in the States a little earlier, because I'm happy like now, but I like sometimes I feel that I missed out like a couple things. So yeah, probably I will say to a younger me, like, think about the States a little earlier.
What's next for you in this journey?
Oh, that's a good question. I would like to, for sure, like with the years, like to explore a little bit more. So maybe organize like a couple guest spots here and there. But like I don't know if I gonna end up like staying here for how, like maybe like 3, 4, 5 years, maybe like to going back to Europe at some point. I honestly, like, it's a big question mark for me.